Adding congratulations to both Deborah and Bill is Cynthia Marshall, or Cynt as she prefers. Cynt has broken barriers, being the first in many arenas. In the late 1970s, she was the first black cheerleader at the University of California, Berkeley. She was the first African-American chair of the North Carolina State Chamber of Commerce. And today, she is the first black female chief executive officer in the NBA. Prior to her current role as the CEO of the Dallas Mavericks, for many decades, she climbed the corporate ladder at AT&T to become the chief diversity officer. Her goal was to transform the company into an inclusive culture and diverse workforce. And she did. I love her quote, "Diversity is being invited to the party. Inclusion is being asked to dance." Cynthia Marshall also knows the power of the story. Prior to speaking to underserved children at a local school, she called her mother to ask if it was okay to share her own childhood experiences. Her mother encouraged Cynt to use her voice, and she did. Cynt continues to share her story and use her voice to create inclusive cultures and diverse workplaces. Cynt, we applaud your every effort and are grateful for the many ways that you encourage others to be their complete and authentic self.
Thank you, Paul, for such a warm introduction. Multicultural Alliance, thank you so much for your work to promote inclusion, diversity, and understanding in our communities. I am delighted to be with you to honor two amazing people. Congratulations, Bill Thornton, for a well-earned Lifetime Achievement Award. Deborah Ferguson, my friend, congratulations on the 2020 Multicultural Alliance Award. I've seen you bring people together of all backgrounds, ethnicities, cultures, and genders. I've seen you light up the world. That's what I briefly want to challenge all of us to do, be a light in the world. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." Deborah, you were a light when you walked into my Dallas Mavericks office over a year ago to invite me to be a part of your work with the Young Women's Leadership Academy. Your passion for bringing out the greatness in these young women was and still is contagious. You lit up the room as you talked about the challenges they were overcoming and the bright future awaiting each one of these young women. Little did you know that you represented in those few minutes in my office people who impacted my own life, people who didn't care about my 94804 zip code. You represented those who exposed me to things I had never seen before, things I didn't even know existed. You represented the light that found me as a teenager when I was in a very dark place. You represented those who stepped into my poor community to make a difference. You did all of that when you stepped into my office at the Dallas Mavericks headquarters. I challenge all of us to be like Deborah Ferguson, to not just light up an office, but light up a community. I challenge us to be a light in the world. I challenge us to get out of our comfort zones and widen our circles to include people who look like us and those who don't look like us. I challenge us to host courageous conversations where we can listen, learn, and unite. Unite around things that are overdue to be addressed in this country. I say overdue because my parents left Birmingham, Alabama, when I was 3 months old to avoid raising their kids in segregation and racial oppression. They left Birmingham so that their children would not have to endure social injustices and the Jim Crow South. My parents were a part of the Birmingham Civil Rights Movement, a movement that landed Dr. King in a Birmingham jail, where he wrote one of his famous letters in April of 1963. It's one of my favorite letters. One of my favorite excerpts reads, "Moreover, I am cognizant of the interrelatedness of all communities and states. I cannot sit idly by in Atlanta and not be concerned about what happens in Birmingham. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. The movement has continued in its various shapes, forms, issues, and colors, and it is affecting all of us. It's 2020, and this is our moment in the movement. Yes, it's our moment in the movement. What will we do with our moment? Well, I can think of a few things right now that we can do. We can support the work of the Multicultural Alliance. We can be inclusive, like Deborah was when she walked into my office and invited me into her network. We can hold our friends, family, and associates accountable for their biases by challenging them on their beliefs. We can encourage them to challenge us. We can all lean in and call out biased kitchen table talk, stuff that happens behind closed doors. We can develop our individual and collective action plans to make a difference. We can be the light in the world that helps others see. What will we do with our moment? I know what Deborah Ferguson has done with her moment. We can start by being a light in the world. Deborah, thank you for being a light. Congratulations to both of our honorees. God bless you.